Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the first I Heard That of 2022 on our new night, so as to better accommodate those of you who may have some particular viewing on Tuesday night on network TV that you want to get into in this, kind of second half of the semester for other people or this beginning part of the year. But I am your VibeMistress Stephanie Renée, joined by my fearless co-host Shareese. And we are glad to have you back with us, especially for tonight's program, because as we have vowed to do moving forward, we have our own themes that we seek to explore, but we always want feedback from you all about things that you would like to see us cover on the show. And tonight's theme was suggested to us by a young lady that I like to call our first and biggest super fan, Tasha Renée Muhammad, who said that we needed to give some love to the funk bands. And so tonight, that is precisely what we are going to do. So thank you, girl, for sharing that theme with us. And we are excited about being able to share some of that music with you. Shareese, how was your holiday?
My holiday was kind of in solitude because, with the Omicron, everybody catching it at the time. By the time Christmas came around, I could not get a test to find out if I had contracted it. I didn't, but I didn't find out until the following week. So I was at home on Christmas because I didn't know what my status was, and I didn't want to potentially get anybody else sick. So
I hear that. Well, listen, I know a lot, and I do mean a lot of people who became positive over the holidays. So I'm just beaming out to everyone in our viewing audience. I hope that you all are taking good care of yourselves and that you are, just doing what's necessary in order to be as healthy as possible, because it's a little crazy out here. And we would all like to get back to a somewhat normal ability to gather and share in the culture live and in person.
Just stay in the house, okay?
But until those days, and hopefully even when the world fully opens back up, we have this space for us to gather and share the music and have a good time anyway. So as you all begin to file into the comment section, we welcome you. Those of you who are checking us out on Facebook, know that your comments do not reach us directly here in our StreamYard environment, but I will be popping back and forth as we play the music for you so that I can interact with you all as well. So feel free to share the link so that we get everybody here grooving together for tonight's funk extravaganza.
Yes. Hello to y'all in the comment section. Besides Tasha and Wanda, we have Nat. Hey Nat.
Yes, hey Nat.
And I'm talking about a blast from my past when I was a kitty kid, little kid. Beanbag. Hey Beanbag. I'm talking about from little kid, like little toddler on. I'm telling you, my foundation is coming through. I'm so glad to see you in here with us. I hope you enjoyed tonight. We're bringing the funk.
So yes, an old friend for Shareese, a new friend for me. We are glad to have you. Thank you for joining us. And this no better way to welcome an old friend into the space than with some classic music.
Okay.
Right? And so for those of you who are not a part of the Soul Sanctuary Radio Congregation group on Facebook, you are missing out, because we share so much good information. It's been some sad information because we've lost a lot of our cultural pioneers, but the happy stuff is wonderful. And we do a hashtag joyous dancing where we share clips of people who are getting it in from all around the world, all different styles of music, but just the soulfulness of movement is what we celebrate with those. And our clip that we posted earlier today, featuring some of our Asian cousins, getting it in to an artist who is featured in Shareese's first pick for the evening. It is a classic for sure. So give us a little background, Shareese, while I cue it up.
Okay, so when I think of funk, I think of like a couple of ways to kind of I approach it from two different. Well, I think that funk is approached from a couple of ways. One way is with the heavy bass line and bass, but the other way for me is like the guitar and the horns and stuff like that. And this first song is by, I mean, legend. He's no longer with us, but although he was crowned the godfather of soul, I think he was funky. Well, we all know he was funky too, but he just got soul. So funk is soul, we know that. But this song is probably my favorite song of his. It's hard to pick a favorite because he had mad songs, but this song, for ridiculous reasons, is my favorite. One, because he squalls. I like the squall.
Yes,
squalling. It was hard. He heavy with the horns. I love that, and the fact that it was like the whole theme of the song, it cracks me up every time. And so, I mean, my first song, y'all all know I'm talking about James Brown. It's called The Payback from the album of the same name, which came out in April of 1970. I think it's the same age as me. This is almost. It's a little bit older than me, a few months older than me. But that's the song. James Brown, The Payback.
Here it goes.
Hey! You got to pay back. Revenge. I'm mad. Got to get back. I need some get back. Pay back. Pay back. That is. Pay back. Revenge. I'm mad to get down with my girlfriend. That ain't right. Whoa! Talking, hollering, cuss. You wanna fight? Payback is a thing you got to see. Hell, never do any damn thing to me. You sold me out for chicken change. Told me they had it all arranged. You had me down, and that's a fact. But now you're pumped. You gotta get ready for the big payback. The big payback. That's where I land. Oh, for the big payback. The big payback. I can do wheeling. I can do dealing. Yes, you can. But I don't do no damn squealing. I can dig rapping. I'm ready. I can dig scrapping. But I can't dig that backstabbing. Oh no! No, brother, get ready. That's the fact. Get ready, you mother, for the big payback. Hey! Let me hit him. Hit him, Fred. Hit him. Hey! Don't do me no done favor. I don't know karate, but I know razor. Yes, we do. Hey, get ready. That's a bank. Get ready, you mother, for the big payback. The big payback. Hey, I'm a man. I'm a man. I'm the son of a man. But don't take care of you. Then pumpkin. Get ready for the big payback. Hey, hit me again. Lord, Lord. Yeah, get ready. I need it. I need a hit again. Same one. Same one. Same one. Get the back. Lord. Sold me out to get changed. You said my woman had it all arranged. Tried to make a deal. She wants to squeal. But I had my boys on her heels. So when you come in, told a lie. You broke down and you want to cry. I don't care what she does. She won't be doing just like she was. Take those kids and raise them up. Somehow they got a righteous cup. Take her, take that woman. It's one place she found. Just run that mother out of town. Make her get up. Make her get up, get out. Make her get up. Make her get up, get out. I'm mad. I want revenge. I want revenge. My patient ends on revenge. My patient ends on revenge. I want revenge. I want revenge. Can I get some hits? I need those hits. I need those hits. Hit me. Lord, need those hits. Carry on. Carry on. Paper melody. All right. Da dee da da dee da da dee da da.
I heard that. Woo-hoo-hoo, Lord. Now that is how we start the year.
Did y'all stretch your necks out? Because I was
I'm
the whole
saying
time.
there was a whole lot of that going on for sure. Did your signal just got crazy, didn't it? Because you got blurry. You're clearing back up
Am
now.
I good
See?
now? Oh, let me see.
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay, good.
Well,
Okay.
for those of you who were just tuning in, welcome back to our first edition of I Heard That for 2022. And we just kicked things off with the Godfather of Soul, Shareese's pick, her first pick for the evening, The Payback. Now, for those of you who were scratching your head because you knew that that was not an image of James Brown on the slide as we were playing the song. That was the funky drummer himself, Clyde Stubblefield. And so I figured if we were going to pay some homage to the groove, then we had to talk about the man who was responsible for dropping it on the one and so much of the funky goodness. When we talk about sampled James Brown, Clyde Stubblefield beats are the basis for the James Brown samples that hip hop has run through on so many. And as you see tonight, I had to put on my t-shirt to honor this crossroads of hip hop and the funk as we embrace it in our world. So thank you, Shareese, for bringing the Godfather into the conversation to get us rolling. Now,
what you got
for my first selection of the evening? There's no way that we could have a conversation about funk music without paying some love to the bands that represent what many people consider to be the funk capital of the United States, Dayton, Ohio. Now, I personally have never physically been to Dayton. Yes. So I don't know if it's something in the water. I don't know if it's a food they eat or something else particularly that goes on in that enclave. However, what I do know is that Dayton has produced a whole lot of bands, funk bands in particular. And we could not talk about Dayton, Ohio without giving a selection that is courtesy of the Ohio Players. And so again, if you have not, shaken out your bell bottoms, picked out your afros this evening, then we hope that this will continue to put you in that space. From their anthology called Funk on Fire, this is the Ohio Players with Skin Tight.
Yes.
We are back. And for those of you who are not hanging out in the comment section, I hope you saw that there was some discussion about how long the songs are that we are sharing with you tonight. I will say that we opened with two of the longest, and we're going to end with the longest. So just so you have some perspective on how all this works. I'm Stephanie Renee, and my co-host is Shareese, and this is our first I Heard That of 2022, where we are celebrating funk music, thanks to our fan Tasha Wana, who's hanging out in the comments section and vibing off of this theme that she suggested to us. So yes, both of those first songs were nearly 8 minutes long.
I mean, they needed time to get all that out. All those instruments, all that funk that had to come out. They needed time. This 3-minute mess, no. They needed
time. They needed time to get high. Yeah. And all the other things that went along with that era.
That was part of the process. But
I thought I'd drop that.
It was a room full of folks. They needed time for whatever they was doing. It was a lot of them that had to do it. So, we had to do it.
There was a lot of that. But the great thing about the funk is that it also gives us this moment of just feeling good. You know what I mean? So much of what was happening during this era was heavy. Yes. And yet these elders still found time to party, still find time to write these songs that just made us want to be together and have a good time. Absolutely. And so that is absolutely worth some celebrating.
Yes.
And so our next song up to bat is from a group that Shareese, you and I vibed to in the 80s. Yes. Because of all of the radio friendly, this is when we really started calling this music R&B, but it is definitely still in the funk era, and with a particularly infamous wardrobe piece.
Yes. Oh, wow. As I kind of delved into this band's music more, I realized, I feel like I must have had like a best of CD or something, and somebody in the comments under in the reviews when I bought the CD or whatever it was, mentioned that they have moved away from their funk sound. So I was like, what? So that kind of made me go back, and sure enough, man, I was like, oh, they really were a funk band, like for real, like in that space for a long time, until by the time we were kind of more exposed to them. I had known songs that were theirs that I didn't realize were theirs, but they still were. I think in the time that we kind of got turned on to them, they were still kind of straddling the funk / R&B line.
And I'm going to say, spoiler alert for those of you who probably are too young to understand what I'm talking about, because of course, people from our era.
Right.
Exactly. I know exactly what wardrobe piece you are talking about. Yeah.
There's but one. There is but one. When you hear that wardrobe piece, you already know what it is. And yes, Jen, you're absolutely right. So this particular song came out in 1980. So I was 10 at the time. So they were still on that whole, again, straddling the fence between funk and R&B / whatever category we're going to put them in. And he wasn't wearing that cod piece at that time. I don't think he was.
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe. I can't remember.
I don't think at this point he was wearing it. I don't think so. Because think about it, they didn't have videos then. So I think when videos came out, that's when he came out with the cod piece. I'm not even going to describe what it is, because I don't want to get banned or whatever. I don't know how they work, how to do that. But yeah. So anyway, this song I didn't go deep into their funk era. I kind of came to where they were straddling the funk and the more contemporary sound that they created. No matter what, if you delve back, we always encourage y'all to to explore these artists that we feature, because there's way more than it's hard to come up with one song. Right. So if there's way more for you to explore and find out about these bands. This particular band is Cameo, and the song that I chose, because that to me is funky, is like, that's what we doing tonight, is called Shake Your Pants.
Indeed.
Cameo.
You know that I just can't do without you. When we get down, we always turn the place out. So shake your pants and you can get a thing off. Feel with me, touch with me, let them see, yes with me. Ooh, yeah. I like it tonight, 'cause that's when my body feels just right. Don't stop me, no, just watch me, and I'll show you how. Be a freak, till I move, and we can move all night. 'Cause that's when my body feels just right. Rock your body with my body, and we'll sexolate till the time is right. Yeah, and I'll show you how. Just how to move. 'Cause that's when my body feels just right. Shake your pants, and let the vibes come through. Just watch me, and I'll show you how. Shake your pants, I like the way we dance. Shake your pants, shake, 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 shake. You know I'm dressed to kill. I can't really dance, and I don't mess around. So take your chances out here if you win. Feel with me, touch with me, let me see. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah. I like it tonight. 'Cause that's when my body feels just right. Don't stop me, no, just watch me, and I'll show you how. Be a freak till the groove, and we can move all night. 'Cause that's when my body feels just right. Rock your body with my body, and we'll sexolate till the time is right. Yeah, and I'll show you how. Go with the flow, and I'll let you know just how to move. 'Cause that's when my body feels just right. Shake your pants, and let the vibes come through. Just watch me, and I'll show you how. Feel it.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting it in tonight. Can you tell? I had to
Yes.
bring us in close so I can say that to you
Listen.
real close. So you would
Listen.
understand that we are not playing with y'all tonight. When Tasha Wana gave us a task, we were on it. We are bringing the jams to you all this evening. Hear me? And that,
Yes.
of course, was a wonderful, funky number from Cameo. Okay, I'm going to back up because this is a little close. Okay. But listen, I'm all about it. Now, Shareese, we're the same age.
Yes.
But I distinctly remember because, I grew up in a blackety black city. And wherever I was, it was going to be, black shenanigans going on. And so in my Catholic elementary school, I remember them playing that song during parties on 45. And now,
Really?
those of you who are of a certain age, y'all remember those big, like, component turntables that schools had that had the speaker on the front, and the 45 thing was built in, so you just picked it up and twisted it so it would stay up so you could play the records. We used to have parties on those joints and play. We could bring our records from home.
Oh.
And playing for parties at school. It's back before people got all reckless with the language like they do now.
Right.
But that song at 45, so it was a lot. But I love that. I've loved that one since my youth.
Yes,
So
that's one of my favorite. When I think of Cameo, I want to hear that song.
AV Club, shout out.
Damone.
Oh my God. Shout out to all the nerds who are of a particular age who understand even what AV Club is all about. Because now schools are hardwired with high-speed internet.
I know, everything is streamable.
So, those were the days when you had to roll the cart out with the TV, the VCR, and the record player. Oh yes. My goodness. That's funny. Thank you, Damone. I appreciate that. So in that spirit, right, in this same era,
okay,
this next song that I picked for you all, I don't know how many of you in the audience are going to know it. Like, I sometimes feel like my DC childhood was a bubble, and some things broke through and became more universal. Some things like go-go music tended to stay, unless you went to a HBCU.
Right.
It tended to stay a little more local. So this absolutely fits the definition of funk band and funk song. I just don't know how widely well known it's going to be. But when you understand the name of the band, you will understand just how black and funky it truly is. Because the band is called the Fatback Band. So that in and of itself lets you know what you're in for. If you've never heard of them, or if you've never heard this song, then hopefully it will delight you on some level. This is the Fatback Band with Backstroking, and they're not talking about swimming.
I'm not so bad. I just like to do what the bad folks stuff. Tighten up on your backstroke. Looking for the good stuff. Tighten up on your backstroke. Looking for the good stuff. Tighten up on your backstroke. Looking for the good stuff. Tighten up on your backstroke. This time it's so sweet. This time it's just for loving you. Let's not waste another moment. 'Cause there's so much I wanna do with you. I'll stroke you easy, I'll stroke you long, I'll feel your body all night long. I'll stroke you easy, I'll stroke you long, I'll feel your body all tighten up on your backstroke. Why don't you tighten up on your backstroke? I said tighten up on your backstroke. Why don't you tighten up on your backstroke? This time is so sweet. This time is just for loving you. Let's not waste another moment. 'Cause there's so much I wanna do to you. We'll stroke you easy, we'll stroke you long, we'll feel your body all night long. We'll stroke you easy, we'll stroke you long, we'll feel your body all night long. Looking for the good stuff. Why don't you tighten up on your backstroke? Looking for the good stuff. Why don't you tighten up on your backstroke? Looking for the good stuff. Why don't you tighten up on your backstroke? Looking for the good stuff. Why don't you tighten up on your backstroke? Looking for the good stuff. Why don't you tighten up on your backstroke? Looking for the good stuff. Tighten up on your backstroke.
I heard that. We are now about halfway through tonight's episode of I Heard That, our first for 2022, where we are showing some love and reverence to the funk. And so, Shareese is normally the one that brings the naughty lyrics to play and in what we exchange with you tonight. I take full responsibility for that one. Now imagine, let's say 8-9-year-old Stephanie dancing to that song, having zero clue what it was actually talking about. So I just think that's funny.
Yeah, well, You weren't the only one, I'm sure. It's a good song, you know?
Yes. Yes. That's how we do. And
Yeah.
the great thing about the funk is that it is so universal in so many different ways that it's like you can get lost in the groove without having a full understanding of exactly what they are talking about.
Yes, you
As
can.
our Say What editions of the show prove, right? We're lost in the song and have no idea what the lyrics are about, but that's why you have us. That's why you
That's
have
right.
this program so that we can
We got
share
you.
in
We
this
got
way.
you.
And I hope you all are making a shopping list of these classic bands we are playing for you tonight. If you do not
Yes.
already have them in your collection, especially if you've let your vinyl go over the years.
Or your
Most of this stuff,
CDs.
right? Most of this stuff is now available digitally. So we
Yes.
hope that you will purchase the music, and that way you can keep the jamming going after we sign off this evening.
Right.
So, Shareese, one of the great things about your next pick is that he's still making music.
Still making music.
Good music.
I mean, what else can he do besides good music? And he is a staple in the funk realm. When this theme was suggested by Tashawana, my cousin Craig went nuts. You see, he's going nuts right now. He been going nuts in the comment section. He naming every band in the world that made funk music, every one of them, and he been going nuts. So I was like, okay, Craig, do you have a song that you might want to be featured when we do this whole funk thing? I texted him. He texted me back 3 songs. I said, one song, Craig. He texted me another song, and then he called me, and so I got him to come down to this one song. I said, "What one song, man? One song." So the story behind this song, and I hope that he's okay with me telling it, is that my uncle. Well, first of all, my grandmother and both of her daughters had children the same year. And Craig was one of them. And my uncle Tony was another one. Of course, the last one would be my own sibling. But so my uncle Tony introduced Craig to this artist that we're about to feature. And he
see that's good home training.
Okay, good home training. And he fell in love with funk, and he fell in love with this artist. Craig wanted to be a bass player. Listen, look out for Craig, because he might mess around and and start making
have a second or third career.
Okay, when I say obsessed, I'm serious. Okay, so his favorite artist, he done said it a million times in unrelated things, is Bootsy Collins.
Yes.
And this first song was the one that he said this song here was the one that introduced him to Bootsy and where he fell in love with Bootsy. So this got to be the song that we play to honor and feature Bootsy Collins, who, as you said, is still making music, still out here doing his thing. This song is called Stretching Out in a Rubber Band, and it's from his album Stretching Out in Bootsy's Rubber Band.
Yes.
Not only were the songs long, the titles of the albums belong to. Stretching Out in Bootsy's Rubber Band. That's the name of the album. Okay. 1976.
Hallelujah! They call me Casper. Not the friendly ghost, but the Holy Ghost. Dig! And I'm here to make you shout. Glory be to the one who knows what the funk's about, y'all. Man. Like a rousing rhythm, only if you can stand the elastic music of my rubber band. I'm gonna hit you with a one. And gonna be the funk's on me. Cause dig, this is Casper here, and I'm calling short distance, little. I'm gonna hit you with the one on the front. Where's that ten stretching out, hanging loose in a rubber band? Hang on. Where's that 10 out, spreading funk all across? Watch out now, baby. Where's that 10 out? Give me some. And here's real. Well, that's that 10 out, and the real you're gonna hear. So you unfunky folk,
come out my sheet so you can see what I'm doing. Dig. We like to party. Party, baby. Holy Jesus. Stretching out, baby. Oh, just give me room. Crawl all over you, baby. Watch out. Oh, getting nasty on you, baby. Skate funk out, Jay. Hit me. Oh, glory be. The funk's on me. I gotta get it loose, baby. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Oh, crying, baby. This is Casper here. I just want to whisper in your ear. I'm calling short distance, baby. From me to you with a friendly boo. That's all, baby. Just a friendly boo. Boo. Oh, play on, brother. Yeah. Liquid, baby. Oh, stretching. Gotta shake some of this funk loose. Hit me. Come on, y'all. My name is Casper. Kinda friendly when I wanna be. And I'm funky otherwise, man. Nasty now. Hallelujah! They call me Casper, the friendly ghost. I'm the Holy Ghost, baby. Watch out, I get under your skin, cause I dig. Watch out now. Let me loose. You let the cat out the bag, baby. I wanna rain some funk on you. I gotta come out my sheet to let you see what I'm doing. Hey, all you innocent bystanders, come here and look under here. We like to party. That's what we like to do. We like to party. Come up under my sheet, baby, baby. Party. We like to party. We like to party. You gotta shoot your shot to get what you want. What you got? talking to you. Don't put me on hold. Play me on your radio. I'm talking to you, baby. Now you hear me? Check my out. You trying to put a one on.
I heard that. Listen here. My neck is now in pain because of all of the bobbing that I did during that song. Craig, I'm giving you multiple high fives from my side of the screen. Because as much as I love Bootsy, that is one of the songs I am less familiar with, but Lord have mercy. That was great. It was great. And like I said, one of the things, we celebrate legacy on Soul Sanctuary Media. And
Yes.
the idea that Bootsy recorded that song decades ago and was still honored and revered enough and humble enough in the context of wanting to collaborate with younger artists that don't have his experience, that he's featured on the Silk Sonic album. That just goes to show, Bootsy does so much work with young people. So for those of you who aren't aware, you hear all the orchestration in the funk songs, right? So Bootsy has worked with orchestras, with youth orchestras. And Bootsy, as funky as it is, he still never crossed the line with inappropriate lyrics. So little kids can totally get down with Bootsy and say the words and not feel like, they got to hang their heads or worries about it, which is why orchestras can work with them. I think it is dope. And
excellent.
I love him.
Yeah.
And so part of what I wanted to do when I saw that selection, I said, well, for my final two selections of the evening, I wanted to show how people had taken the very, very classic material and kind of brought it into another era, because this band became popular towards the end of the 80s and then moved into a whole different thing in the 80s and 90s. And it is rooted in the funk. Okay. But they go some other directions. This particular selection that I'm going to share with you tonight is most definitely funky. So there's no doubt about the roots of this. We'll talk a little bit more about the extensive catalog of this particular band on the other side of the selection. But for those of you who are unfamiliar, I certainly hope that this will make you all curious about the catalog of a band called Fishbone. And from an album with a title that is perhaps my favorite album title in all the world, which is Give a Monkey a Brain and He'll Swear He's the Center of the Universe.
Ooh. What you say about the long album titles? A whole sentence
is absolutely a dedication to the funk, and the lyrics are a little naughty, but you got to dig a little deeper. So this is another one you can play around the kids and they won't know what they're talking about. It's called Nut Megalomaniac. Ride with me.
You think? No, it's probably very simple, man. Spice.
And everything nice.
Spicy nutmeg, right?
Well, you don't know, and you thinking the wildest thing.
What the fuck is it? Oh, what? It's nasty. Are we singing a nasty song now?
I don't understand it, but
they don't see what I'm talking about. As long as it's fun.
it's like a crazy thing going on, I think. I really
on the body, can't wait for the bang, bang, bang. See, Shareese, rest the
So if we say the Sons of Funk, then you can hear how Fishbone absolutely fits in that category. Now, going back to previous episodes and a movie and songs that Shareese and I both love, if you have seen Idlewild and you have seen the scenes where Big Boy playing the character Rooster is on stage at the sanctuary, doing his thing, the band leader for the band in Idlewild is Angelo Moore, who is the main arranger for Fishbone.
Oh,
So
wow. I did not know that.
That's how all that comes together. And that's why they selected him, because that's the kind of thing that he does. And it's fabulous. Now, they do not stay in funk. They actually got well known for doing punk and ska, which are all the influences that they throw in. On that one album that I directed you all to, there is all of that. Lots of heavy electric guitars, lots of horns, and other layers. But they are just really, really brilliant musicians. Somebody had to be deprogrammed from a cult. They're very interesting brothers. But I'm serious. I'm really not joking about that.
I'm glad he made it.
They broke in. They kidnapped him and carried him out.
Oh my God! I'm glad that he made it.
Yes, read the backstory on Fishbone. It's quite a tale. But I hope you enjoyed that and you check them out.
Yes, that was funky. Yes, I like that a lot.
Thank you.
I like that a
I'm
lot.
glad you enjoyed it. For your final selection of the evening, you went to a song that ideally anybody who likes to dance, anybody who likes 80s, early 90s R&B, they are going to know this song.
Everybody should know it. This song is so heavy on the bass. The first time that we knew we were doing this theme, it was the first song that popped in my head, and I couldn't get it out. I've been singing the song since I put the song down and as one of my features, I promise, in my head. If anybody been around me, they already know what song it is, because I keep trying not to, but I can't help it, because this bass line this song is so bass driven. Like when I think funk, like the first funk that is always that heavy bass.
Yes,
that's this song, and I know everybody is going to love it. Get up, get ready. Did you stretch? Did y'all stretch? Because okay, this song is by Lakeside, Fantastic Voyage, off of the album entitled Fantastic Voyage, which they brought out in January of 1980. So they were still funky as hell in 1980. So
sure enough. You ready? Let's do it.
Take a ride, there's a party over there that ain't no job. It's live, it's all the way live. Don't even have to walk, don't even have to drive. Just slide, slippity slide. Just forget about the troubles in your 9 to 5 and just sail on. That's what you do, just sail on. Now the dude's so funky, hey, what do you think? What is it called? It's called a Lakeside Stank. Come along and ride on a fantastic voyage. We wanna take you on a cruise all around the land. Music is at hand. We wanna play it for you. You see, want to be. We want to be a crew of entertainers. Jam to the music, to the beat. Jam, yeah. Don't let nothing restrain you. party over there that ain't no job. It's live, live, it's all the way live. Don't even have to walk, don't even have to drive. Just slide, glide, slippity slide. Just forget about the troubles in your 9 to 5 and just sail on. That's what you do, just sail on. Now the dude's so funky, hey, what do you think? What is it called? It's called a lakeside stank. And you wanna get down, bring your ma, your pa, and brother James Brown, bring Auntie M and Toto too, and all the party people to do their do. We'll dance and party till the early light and say, hey, we're feeling alright, so come on, take a ride. There's a party over there that ain't no lie. We're leaving here in a cloud of smoke, and that's all, folks. Come along, that's the party. You wanna go, you wanna go, you wanna go, you wanna go.
I heard that. Shareese, I'm over here laughing because that was the shortest song of our entire program.
Okay. How?
But oh man, listen, and you know, for the young people who didn't know the original Lakeside version, they might know the Coolio version. I mean, listen,
Right.
this song has transcended age groups for any number of reasons. They might have even included it on like a Radio Disney compilation. Who knows? You know what I mean?
Probably.
Like, it was that much of a pop, you know, sensation. And who knows?
Yes.
But I thank you for having me over here jamming. I'm laughing to myself also because, so for those of you who are watching at home, we have a backstage environment that we're in, you know, in between songs and everything else, where we are reading your comments and have this interaction. But Shareese can't see me. I can see her. But so she can't see the chair dancing, the vigorous chair dancing that I'm doing on my side of the camera.
But I can
when we're not
imagine it
on
though.
screen. But I hope to continue that vibe for our final selection of the evening with another band that is not necessarily thought of in the realm of funk, but you cannot deny the influence, particularly because of the entire reason that they came to be. Because when people are distinguished musicians who play a gajillion instruments, and they are behind the formation of your ensemble, then you're going to carry over all of the influence into what you do, of course, because you are representing not only your founding influence, but you're representing the city that you're from in the way that many funk bands represented Dayton, Ohio, or Ohio in general.
Right.
There's also something to be said for the Twin Cities of Minneapolis, St. Paul. And I picked this particular group and this particular song because there are, I need you all to know how many musicians I know, how many musicians I've worked with, and how many musicians I know in my life. I know a lot of bass players. I know a lot of drummers. And there are few, if any, drummers I know who can play this drum line. And the fact that it was programmed in the 80s is something that I want everybody to really pay attention to. This album just celebrated its 40th anniversary. So in the context of everything that we are sharing tonight, with the foundation of funk, I want you all to also appreciate the elevation, like the escalation of our electronic ways of reproducing funk and layering that on top of real expert musicianship. So from the brain and organizing influence of the late Prince Rogers Nelson to his brothers of Minneapolis, St. Paul, I present to you this song from the time 7/7/93/11.
you're so fine. 777-9311. I wanna spend the night with you if that's alright. 777-9311. Ooh, baby, please can I come tonight? Baby, what's your phone number? How can you be reached on a lonely night? Baby, what's your phone number? How can I get into you when I'm feeling right? 777-9311. I wanna spend the night with you if that's alright. 777-9311. Ooh, baby, please can I come tonight? Jelly bean. Ain't nothing worse than rejection. Feel a little better if you slap my face. Hey, what's your phone number? Can't you see the agony I'm going through? Baby, what's your phone number? Girl, it's getting hard, baby. Won't you let me love you, love you? 777-9311. I wanna spend the night with you if that's alright. 777-9311. Ooh, baby, please can I come tonight? Yeah, ooh. Hey, baby, what's your phone number? I know it sounds fast, but I ain't got all night. Come on, baby, what's your phone number? You know I got to be cooler than this cat you're sitting with. I'll do you right, baby. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, no. Come on. Oh, hey. 777-9311. I wanna spend the night with you if that's alright. 777-9311. Ooh, baby, please can I come tonight? Come tonight, if that's alright. Honey, please, can I come tonight? Can't you see what I'm going through? I wanna do it tonight, baby. I wanna do it to you. You're so fire, burn me out. It's getting higher. You know what I'm talking about. Help me out. Good Lord above. Baby girl, give me some of that terror.
Yes.
Wait, I have to put this up.
Yes, I saw that.
I
Listen.
need so in other tales of Stephanie Renee's former life, in my teen years, when curls were all the fashion, lots of hair shows used to pass through my hometown of DC.
Yes,
And
okay.
I used to get my curl. I never had an official Jerry curl. I ended up being an ongoing model for Donnie's Super Curl. And whenever those big hair shows would come to town, Stephanie and all her family would traipse down to the Washington Convention Center and get set up in a booth, and they would redo our do's and show people how the process went.
Okay. Donnie's super curls. All right.
80s were a special time. And little did I
Mhm.
know back then that my hair would curl like that if I just put water and conditioner on it. But you know,
Didn't even need all them juries.
it's a whole
Didn't need all the chemicals.
other conversation. We have all the fruits and berries now to put in our
Right.
hair to make it do everything we wanted to do.
Right. Exactly.
But I want to again thank Tashawana for suggesting this theme. I'm so glad that you all were jamming with us, and that you have shifted with us to our new night of the
Yes.
week.
Y'all
And
did good. Y'all did really good.
they
You got
did.
in here, like kick the door, bust the door open with us on the Wednesday. I love
And
it.
and unfortunately, whatever, there was some glitch in the matrix. The folks that were watching on Facebook, the video ended early. Like it glitched somewhere right at the beginning of the final song, and
Oh,
so
wow.
then maybe they thought we ended early. We didn't. So those of you who are
No.
checking us out on YouTube, clearly the platform is more stable. And
Yes.
so thank you for sticking around to the very finale. For those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, although I don't think we had any newbies tonight, I think these are all our regulars. But just in case, I always say, if there's some thought, if after seeing tonight's show, knowing that this was a viewer suggested theme, if there's something else that you would like us to cover, there was a suggestion in our comments, Shareese. I don't know if you saw it. We'll talk about it in a moment. But you can send an email to VibeMistress@soul-sanctuary.net, and I will definitely read all of your thoughts and see if we could put them into practice. If you aren't aware, there is a streaming station. So rather than go to those big services like Apple Music and Spotify, come partake in a curated experience where you get the kind of music that you heard tonight and much more at tinyurl.com/soulsancphl or soulsancphl2. And you will get high quality stereo sound and jam to this whenever you are able to tune in. And if you didn't see it earlier, you can also subscribe to us on IG and Twitter at that same handle at soulsancphl is how you can stay in touch. On Facebook, we have a group where there's lots going on. Shareese be starting stuff in there too. And
I
so,
know. Always.
any parting words you want to share with folks, Shareese?
I just want to thank everybody again for transitioning over into the new year with us, sticking with us, coming in strong, like strong on a new day. Spend your hump nights with us. We appreciate you, and keep coming with the suggestions, and keep with all of the shenanigans in the comment section. It is a wonderful thing to see. We're glad to have you here. These are our people. We're growing. Our audience is growing. I love it. And I'm so glad that we have the core group of commenters that we have, because you guys encourage other folks to interact as well. So keep it up. And we will see you in 2 Wednesdays.
Yes, with more great goodness. Now, the one final thing that I want to make sure people know, because Shareese, I looked into this.
Yes.
We always talk about how these third-party services sometimes be blocking us, right? because we're trying to show the love to all this music by other artists. We're not claiming it as our own. We are trying to sell the music. We're trying to get y'all to buy it and support these artists, whether they are legacy artists or contemporaries. We want you to have this in your personal collections. But I saw that technically on YouTube, the only ones that are blocked, like straight up, you can't get them anymore, are our Say What episodes, which I find amazing. I don't understand why those particularly are the ones that are blocked. All the other ones are still there.
Wow.
So you should subscribe to the Soul Sanctuary Inc. YouTube channel. Catch up on all the shows that you can see, except for those two. But if you know somebody who should have been jamming with us tonight, who was unable to sign in live, the replay will be up on the Soul Sanctuary website tomorrow, and that is soul-sanctuary.net. So no songs blocked out, no shenanigans. From start to finish, the show will be available on the videos tab at soul-sanctuary.net. Okay, so you can catch up, tell your friends, watch it again if you like.
And just to piggyback on what Steph said about us encouraging you all to purchase the music of the artists, these bands that we all were in here jamming to, we can still purchase their music and support them, because that's what keeps them able to continue what they're doing. We don't want them to disappear, and we need you to pass that along to the next generation. Tanisha is the mother of 3 of my great nieces. And as she's noted, she said they were all jamming on their way to bed. And I can definitely attest, they love good music. They love good music. And that's exactly what we want. We want the next generation to appreciate this music as much as we do. We want them to know what a guitar sounds like and what it looks like versus a bass and everything else. So pass this along to that next generation. If it's not your kids, which we know we already know y'all already got y'all kids straight, right? We y'all did already. Now their kids and the nieces and nephews that you have, they need to be hip to this music as well. All of the good stuff. And that's the way that we will continue to have artists who are coming up behind us that are appreciative of the ones that we love. The contemporary artists should know where that influence comes from. They heard it, but they may not necessarily make the connection between the music that they were hearing in their households and they were kids and what they're drawn to do now. So let's close that gap, purchase that music, blast it in your radios, on your Series, on your Alexas, and let your kids be exposed to it so that they can carry it on.
Absolutely. The babies need to be guided to the funk and beyond.
That's right.
So thank y'all for tuning in, and we will see you again, same bat time, same bat channel in 2 weeks.
Look for my posts. Look at my post.